Rejoice. This is the day the Lord has made. I'm Dr. Amanda. Mama said, everybody that smiles in your face is not your friend. Let that sink in. Drop in the comments, what did your mama say about fake friends or watching the people you hang around? You packed your bags. You drove to a new city. You walked into a new campus, a new apartment, a new chapter in your life. And nobody knew your name. That first week is exciting, but underneath the excitement is something nobody talks about, openly at least. Loneliness, real, heavy, unexpected loneliness. You thought you were ready. You thought it would be easy. You thought the friendships would come naturally, but you are sitting in a cafeteria full of strangers, wondering where your people are. And then somebody smiles at you, invites you somewhere, makes you feel seen, makes you feel like you belong. And in that moment of loneliness and vulnerability, you said yes without asking the right questions first, without watching long enough, without letting wisdom lead instead of desperation. You hear mama's voice come back into your head too late. Everybody that smiles in your face is not your friend. Here's what the research confirms about that vulnerable first season. Nearly 70% of college students report feeling lonely, and first year students are the most vulnerable of all because the drastic change in their social environment, it hits harder than anything they anticipated. Nearly two-thirds, that is 64.7% of college students say they feel lonely. And here's the shocker. College students who feel lonely are over 4 times more likely to experience serious psychological distress. 4 times. The Surgeon General declared loneliness a national epidemic. Not just an emotion, a public health crisis linked to heart disease, dementia, stroke, and premature death. Loneliness is not just uncomfortable, it is dangerous because desperate people make desperate choices. And the wrong circle knows exactly how to find lonely people and lure them. They're not going to look dangerous. They're not going to look, going to announce themselves. They're going to smile in your face. They're going to be fun. They're going to make you feel included when everything in you just wants to belong somewhere. That's a real setup. That is what mama was warning you about before you even knew it or what it felt like. Proverbs 13:20 says, walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. The Hebrew word for walk is HALAK, to go, to live, to conduct one's life. This is not just about taking a stroll with someone. It means the entire direction and conduct of your life. Who you walk with literally determines where you go, what you become, how you live, what you allow. And listen to this. The Hebrew word for companion is ra'ua, to associate with, to be a close friend, to be in intimate fellowship. This is not a casual acquaintance. This is someone you have given access to your inner world. Solomon is saying your circle is not neutral. It is either making you wiser or breaking you. There's no middle ground. Proverbs 26:7 adds a layer that mama already knew. Wounds from a friend can be trusted, but an enemy multiplies kisses. The Hebrew word for kisses here carries the meaning of deception. So the enemy does not come looking like an enemy. They come with warmth, with affection, with a smile. Mama saw that before you ever walked into that campus. Proverbs 2:26 confirms it. It says, the righteous chooses their friends carefully, but the way of the wicked leads them astray. The word carefully in Hebrew is yatar, to remain, to be left over, to be the remnant. The righteous person is intentional, selective. They do not give everyone access. They choose who remains in their inner circle. Jim Rohn, he's a famous businessman and philosopher, said, "You are the average of the five people you spend the most time with. Not some of the time, not occasionally, the average. Your income, your habits, your faith, your future, all averaged by your circle." And C.S. Lewis said, "Friendship is born at the moment when one person says to another, 'What, you too? I thought I was the only one.'" True friendship is built on shared values, shared faith, shared direction, not just shared loneliness in a cafeteria. And Amos 3:3 asks the question, can two walk together unless they agree? The answer is no, not in the direction that matters, at least. You are in a new place, you need connection. That is not weakness, that is how God designed all of us. But here is how you build the right circle from scratch. First, go where your values already live. Find a campus ministry, a Bible study, faith-based organization, a service group. Start there. Your people are already gathered somewhere around purpose. Second, watch before you commit. Give it time. Anybody can perform for a few weeks. Character reveals itself over months. Let wisdom be patient, even when loneliness is urgent. Ask yourself 3 questions about every person you are allowing close. Do they make me better or do they make me compromise? Do they speak life or do they speak destruction? Would I be comfortable if God was standing right here watching this friendship? Number 4, quality over quantity. You do not need a large circle, you need a wise one. One person who walks in wisdom is worth more than a crowd that leads you toward harm. Proverbs 23:7. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. To calculate, to reckon, to estimate. You are always calculating and always becoming. And your circle is constantly feeding that calculation. What your circle speaks, you eventually think. What you consistently think, you eventually become. What you become determines where you go. That is the message of think about what you're thinking, because the voices around you become the voice inside of you. Guard the circle and guard your mind. Guard the mind and you guard your future. Mama said, everybody that smiles in your face is not your friend. God said, walk with the wise and become wise. The question is, who are you walking with? Be well.